Good morning and welcome to Live at the Legislature. For the House Majority portion of the show, this week we have Representative Nadine Nakamura. She represents District 14 on Kauai, which includes Hanalei, Princeville, Kilauea, Anahola, Kapa'a, and Wailua. Representative Nakamura is also the chair of the House Committee on Housing. Good morning, Representative.
Good morning, James.
I want to start off with what's on the front page of the Garden Island this morning. There's a story about Kauai rejoining the state's Safe Travels program. Of course, this means that Kauai may quickly see an increase in tourism. Is Kauai ready for that?
Yeah, I think Kauai is ready. I think a lot of the precautions have been put in place and businesses are ready and roaring to get back into the game. We know as of yesterday that 45,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered on Kauai, representing about, I think, 30% of the population. So we're on a good path. And now vaccines, as of yesterday, are opened up to the general population. So everyone above 16 years of age has access to vaccines that are being administered. And businesses have been gearing up for this for months. And the county has worked very closely with the private sector to develop a very interesting public-private partnership to ensure that all visitors after 3 days post-arrival will hopefully volunteer to take a second test. So that's an exciting program that I think will help to identify those who might slip through the cracks and may actually be, positive. So I think all of those things make it a good time for the county. And the last thing is, I believe we went from 3 trans-Pacific flights per day to 8 flights. Oh. So it's definitely going to ramp up.
I know I sure want to visit Kauai again. It's been a long time.
It's a good time to come.
But your district on the North Shore, you recently had some rains and the road washed out. What is the situation like now?
Right. So yes, several weeks ago, there was, with the heavy rains, there was a major landslide at the entrance of Hanalei, and also a smaller rock slide in Waikoko, both of them in my district. The main one is a 600-foot long landslide that pretty much covered the main entranceway to the North Shore. And within 6 days, I credit the State Department of Transportation, Highway Division, because they were able to clear one lane to open it up to first responders. Mm-hmm. But it will be a process to stabilize the hillside. Luckily, the highway is intact. So unlike the flooding, 3 years ago, there's no need for road reconstruction. But we need to stabilize the hillside, which will take up to 6 months to do. And in the meantime, there's limited access in and out of Hanalei. So it is a severe impact to the people who live there, who attend school, all the things, all the businesses who depend on now the visitors coming to Kauai. It's going to be, it's another hardship again for our residents.
And how are they dealing with that? It's over and over. How's their attitudes? How are they coming through?
An amazing, resilient community. The day after the landslide, the community had mobilized there was absolutely no roadway access in and out of Hanalei. So the community mobilized a system where there was a park and ride in Princeville. You leave your car there, picked up by a shuttle, and the shuttle would take you to an ATV that would take you down a private roadway and then a private road to a boat that would ferry you over to the other side of Hanalei River so that you could get to your location. And this is what they did. They mobilized, they got the volunteers together, they were able to move supplies in, move workers in so that Big Safe could open up and offer supplies to people, get people to medical appointments, teachers to classrooms. So it was an amazing operation. I have to acknowledge the Kauai Resiliency Team for putting this system into place and all the volunteers who helped to load supplies, including 30,000 pounds of poi a week.
Wow, that's good. At least.
Carol.
Well, I wanted to ask you about your role as chair of the Housing Committee, and money is very tight, and the need for housing is still so great. What's being considered this year that might help the situation?
Right. Well, just in our budget bill, HB 200, we've set aside $123 million that will go to the Rental Housing Revolving Fund and the Dwelling Unit Revolving Fund. And both of these pots of funds help to make affordable housing happen. One that builds affordable rental housing, and the other one that helps to build infrastructure so that affordable housing can be developed. So that's a huge commitment on the part of the state. And then there's also the low-income housing tax credit bill. There's several vehicles moving along that will extend this program for another 6 years. This is a way to create equity and to help build housing for families with very for low and moderate incomes.
I see. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad we're moving with some positive things in this tight budget year. Now, we just have like 40 seconds left. Is there anything moving through the legislature this year that is important or will have an impact on your community?
Yes, we have HB 1276, which is what we call the dynamic park pricing bill. That it really affects a lot of state parks around the state of Hawaii, where we will give the Department of Land and Natural Resources Parks Division a lot more flexibility in setting prices for users and parking.
Excellent. Okay, good. Because I know they have some great parks out there that people love, maybe too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today and telling us about what's happening on Kauai, and I look forward to seeing you in the Capitol and on Kauai soon. Aloha.
Thank you. Aloha.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.